Good afternoon. Thank you for coming today, this afternoon. On the seat, we have a questionnaire sheet for all of you to write before you leave. Today, we want to create an ad that moves the individual is the catch copy. We did the same last year under this topic. The translator suffered a great deal, so please suffer. Ad and the individual, it's a play on words. It's a phonetic play on words in Japanese. So it's the same thing as last year. So we'll have the translator suffer. My name is Hagihara from Recruit Communications Design. Advertising and design creative work, it's a combined entity. And what I do, Recruit Group service and corporate planning and promotion is what I do specifically. Service vision, concept design, naming, promotion is what I look after. Today's agenda, I will explain about the Recruit Communications Actions Design on how to move the individual, and then Mr. Takeuchi will talk about the action design case study in promotions. And then we will give some examples of how to put the action design into service. I'm from Recruit Communications. Once again, I need to give you an overview on Recruit. Recruit is learn the whole life cycle of people going to school, learning, getting a job, and then getting married and changing jobs and getting a home. The whole lifestyle is something that we support. This is the media that we have. We have many media services. Have you used any of this up here? Can you raise your hand? Thank you. Do you want to tell me which one? Rika. Services that you may have been familiar with. Recently, we have some very fragmented ones, such as SEAM service. In the smartphone, you can look at the sperm level to see your activity level. We have some operating companies for this. And for domestic, we have a solution that we provide. Recruit Communications, we have advertising, distribution. Recruit, we have this ribbon model. Customer and client is connected through this ribbon model. So new engagement, encounter, and the media services going to be centered around here. Recently, on top of this model, we have other ones as well. But the original business model started as this. The customer and client is moved and connected. This kind of solution is what we do. So the advertising vehicle, you may think about the lifestyle and information. There's a big change happening. With the changes in lifestyle, the minimization and diversification of the consumer and information, the social media, there's more connection with the social media. People close to your heart. There's more time with your family and friends. Mass communication is less accessed. And because of that huge volume, there's a lot of filtering.
が多様化し、情報があふれる中で、広く伝えるだけの従来の広告ではなかなか効かない。そもそも広告の目的は事業成長であり、ゴールは生活者との意思決定であり、選択であり、アクションだというふうに考えています。
And provide information and sector service. So the boundaries are diminishing gradually, and it's more important you decide by yourselves. And designing the action is very important now. And this one is the flow that which Recruit made. And first of all, look for the service and let them select the information and then compare and then make them decide. So, for example, there's a hot paper gourmet, and if someone is interested in, they choose the certain service and they select the one specific restaurant, and so that's the phase the recruiter provide. And the recruit communication, brand, the media, and marketing communication, and solution for the client. For example, so we have to review the value chain and improve the process. And also, this technology can be designed by us as well. So this kind of solution we provide. And today and tomorrow, I'm going to talk about this. So today, I would like to talk about how we can activate the communication in the provided service. And tomorrow, also at the same time here, we're going to talk about more actions. So today, I'd like to explain about the communication design. So as I mentioned previously, I'm working at advertisement division of the Recruit and CM promotions, and we like to promote the acknowledgement. And then, if it's possible, we invite the people into the service. And so this is the flow we have in the company. And I believe it's not going to be diminishing, but there's a timing of the acknowledgement, and there is a certain experience to win the service. And moreover, the experience of advertisement is decreasing, and also the service itself is something you can experience. So how can we make something like that? So we have to know the target, and we have to need to know the scope, and we have to provide experience which has a good value for them, and then we can provide somewhere that they can connect to each other, and then action can be made after that. And moreover, through the experience, the consumers can be our stakeholders, and they refer and send in more information, and they can extend our information to somebody else. And I'd like to talk something more specific, and I'm going to give this microphone to Mr. Takeuchi. So from here, I'd like to talk about the promotion and how we can design the actions. And first of all, so it's been 10 years since I joined Recruit. And developers, real estate, something like a magazine Sumo, that I was in charge of the marketing. In the last 10 years, I was marketer. And then I'd like to explain what I did in the past with real estate agencies or developers. As of today, I have so many different types of clients, and we have some projects to like a proof of concept. And if they want to proceed some sort of projects or they want to proceed some business, for example, how the people compete each others, and without knowing it, you cannot proceed this project. Or if they want to create a new product, they sometimes will receive such demand, and then in that case, and but sometimes you have to know why people want to go out. And also, when you want to create a new product, and you have to compete with the local people to do so. And then how people enlighten each other. There's an open collaboration, the open creation, something called like that recently. And it's just a different way of promoting the project nowadays. So I work with those kind of projects. And among others, I like to explain the success business models using the real estate or developers field. So, for example, if you want to use a certain concept for buying the apartments or housing, and this one is trying in a 10 or 20 different local areas, and how you can create the people who love that area. And the second one is how can you connect this kind of local, people to buy the apartments or house who love this area. So why it's necessary for, and so the customers who move to the house or apartment, if they love this area, there is a high loyalty for the people living there. And those people, if there's so many people like that, the value of their assets is going to be increasing if you get the people who love this area. So this client would like to have a certain business model to generalize this concept. So there's a conditions. So there's a process survey for the people buying the new apartments. And there's a 50,000 surveys. Maybe you saw this kind of advertisement in apartments. There's around 12 items to answer. The why you wanted to buy this the apartment, and why did you buy this apartment? So, there are so many different kinds of questions. And at the timing of that buying the apartment, some of them, 60% of them actually didn't know this town, this local area, when buying this apartment. So it's actually written very small. But if you love this town when buying this apartment, and then the assets is going to be more valuable. So the customer segment and the motivation of these customers. And there's the different layers, how they behave. So as a result, there's a people who wants to buy, and there is some people who are thinking of buying them. And about the definitions of motivation can be different. For example, there's some people who don't know this town at all. Let's say like a Toyosu, and there's going to be a big apartment, but you don't know anything about the Toyosu, and you even didn't think about buying the apartment there. And so, but there's other type of group that you don't know this area, but anyway you want to buy the apartments. And also, there is another group that they know this place and you want to buy the apartments. And we try to find out how they behave. And as a result, that we found that how you're going to create a value of the living. And developers or real estate agencies, when they sell the apartments, so the consumers are going to buy the life. So those the agencies or developer, it's not actually selling the product; they're selling their lives. And so how can we just provide them the emphasis or the value of the life? And if they can provide the value that they want, they're going to buy the apartments.
If so, what sort of experience would be good if they would like that town or a city, and as a result, buy the condo? So just for reference, we use the sociologist Cialdini, Why People Are Moved, The Weapon of Influence, is the best-selling book in social psychology. It says why. I will give you some examples. 6 actions. These 6 principles, communication, if we can create this, things will move.
それがですね、
So this is in terms of rarity, group, affinity, response. Rarity is it's only here, then people would go for it.
ですね、偏方性っていう
In terms of responsive, if you want to go back to a hotel or inn, the hospitality, then you would go back for a certain hospitality. Why they consume certain things. Through this experience, if you can put this together, then we can put that into action, is what we said. So we will go into specific case studies from here. In a certain town, this is a real engagement. There are lots of festivals and events in this place. For them to enjoy this place, what kind of experience should they have to like this place? So we take the actual case of the event. We do a snow festival in the middle of the city. They may like this place. For instance, a very high education standard city or town, to enjoy that and appreciate that, what kind of experience would they like to see? We came up with children and adults can seriously engage with each other. It may be strange for me to ask you a question. If you want to have a rare experience for a certain redevelopment project, there's no telephone poles, and therefore the sky's open. So what kind of experience would you like to see to like this particular place? We asked this person. Do you have an answer? What experience would you like to see happen? Having balloons? Our client, we try to talk through these kinds of things to plan things together. Anything else? What experience would you be looking for? What we actually came up with was having an air balloon. We did in our promotion activity. In the middle of the city, people can enjoy the big sky. So they get connected with the city or town and love that place. Originally, client, in terms of loving that particular town, can we not use that to create a better town? So some experience in the town is going to tie to that particular person loving that space. We cannot tie that directly into purchasing a condo. As we saw in the survey, people who buy condo, they take a year to 3 years to consider. There's no 100% satisfaction for a person buying a condo. They like that, but it's too expensive maybe. They have lots of trade-offs. And therefore, just the experience is not going to tie to purchase of a condo. To take out the anxiety, it won't go to purchase. They might like the city or town, but not necessarily buy the condo. So all of the experiences that we provide, the real events, for the existing residents of that particular area and the new customers, how can we have an exchange program? They can have an experience that leads to purchasing a condo at that site. So a credible information by somebody credible speaking would tie to purchase. So at the event, different people to be able to converse was what we tried to seek in this event. For instance, to line up to buy a hot dog, if you introduce yourself to someone else, you can get the hot dog free. Then people start talking. They'll ask, what's it like to live here? So the negative queuing up becomes a positive experience. Similarly, people who live there can have booths and they can be volunteers to speak for the town. So the residents can help in luring people to their town. People who hear will be happy, and the communicator loves talking about the place they live. So that becomes experience. So such event amongst residents, having this exchange, affinity to become more acquainted and liking that town, and leading to condo purchase, we felt could be the track. In 1 year, 10 cities, we did this experience, local experience. Then those, if we have potential customers, usually became 1.5 times success rate to purchase the condo. If you want demand, the cost becomes 1.5. Is it expensive or less expensive? From the client side, for these numbers, they felt that this is a good business, was the experience. The sympathy and the information by the local residents is valuable. We felt particular customer case study. Can we not evolve this to a service that's deployable to the whole of the industry? Is how we put this forward. Number 3 agenda topic is success action design case study. How can we put that into services was the next challenge. Depending the residents, people might say you're forcing people to buy something they wouldn't have otherwise. And people who purchase condo are striving to get more information about the town they're going to be living, so they love it, which is a fact. So can we not change this into a service? Making promotion to a service, what can we do? Services against performance and action is a service. Those action and performance, there is a process in how it is delivered. So promotion to change into service, what can we do is what we thought. So what we came up with is service dominant logic.
Service dominant.
So self-dominant project. is, so there's a different way of putting it, but there's principles. So one is, so the people who are living and the companies are going to create the product value together. So this product value is the point that they create such values together. For example, this is a car, but the car itself has a value, but how to utilize this car, or why you use this car and how you use these cars. And so you can think how you can utilize these cars with the users. And so this is something called service dominant. So this is the example I shared with you before. So you're going to create this kind of values together with the people who consume the product. So the departments or condo for the future, and how you can sell those condo or apartments. So as of today, there is a process to sell, but you have to add more values. So for example, currently the process to sell this condo is like this. The first of all, there is a gallery for the rooms, and the customer come to those exhibitions or galleries. And so there's a surveys, and they answer the survey. And they're going to see the model, and there's also the model rooms. And so they can take a look at it. And however, the instructions of these apartments or mansions cannot be delivered correctly sometimes. So the reason behind this is, for example, that you don't know what they want, or it's not convincing, and the instructions of that room is not delivered in a proper way. So the customers have some concerns, and then because of the concerns, they cannot find the values. So the staff who sell this condo, they know the specification, but they don't know the benefit of this apartment. So, for example, there is a 10 tatami room living room, and there is a certain benefit if you have a big living room for the specific customers. And last year, we had something called the Machi, which we received a good value awards. And actually, the voice from the local people have the reality, and it's a good information. I think you have this kind of experience before. And actually, what kind of primary school or elementary school in this area, or what kind of hospitals, and do they have the service in the evening, and you need to know that kind of information. And sometimes it's even difficult, even if you search in the websites. So those local people, they have more information about the hospitals or the schools. And sometimes they can find, even if you have children, you can go to the hospitals very easily. And then that kind of specific information cannot be delivered sometimes. And there is a process of selling the apartments. And there is actually something called a Machai counselor can be set. So they actually, the people who are trying to buy the apartments in this area, they can meet a counselor who actually lives in the town and can tell what kind of lifestyle you can have if you live in this local area. So this is a specific service we created. And actually, when you create this kind of service, and you have to know what kind of town that it is actually, and we need to know the details. And so with the salesperson, you have to know how you can deliver the attractions of this town. And also there is a counseling community of this town, and you can have the information that the customers want. So as a result, so through so there's a different customers who used Machi and who didn't use Machi, and there's a big difference. So the customers, when they are thinking about buying the condos, and they really want to know the information in the local area, and by creating such and delivering such informations, it is going to be very successful for the salesperson to introduce the town and apartments, and as they can understand the value of the buying the apartment. So it's not only about the specification, but you can sell the values or attractions of that town. So when you move the individuals, you need a certain action design. So the companies, so our clients, and but we can expand their business opportunities, and we can create a better service for such business activities. So we did this as a test, and if it's something good to have, and then we tried what it is like, and then we can improve the activities of the companies. So when we do a business, sometimes we work together with the governments or the universities or research organizations or local the governments or NPOs. So we have so many networks, and we have the knowledge, and so we can create innovations together with you. So if there's something that you want to change the given industry, and maybe we can support you. Thank you very much for listening. So we like to have a Q&A. So if you have any question, please raise your hand. Anything? So thank you very much for coming here today, and we'd like to create something together with you. So if you please feel free to contact us. We stay here for a while, so if you have any specific question you want to ask personally, please come and ask us. Thank you.